Hold on. Okay. So you were taking over at the same time. I was like, oh no. Okay, guys, I am super excited to have Miss Tara walk us through. She went to the Rocky Mountain Boot Camp. And before you start talking, Tara, I really want you to share from that part of how difficult it was to get to this boot camp, because I was talking to her along the way, and just how impactful it was to push past that.
Yeah, so I closed on our dream house on Friday. And of course, that morning, our closing gets pushed back. So we were supposed to be in Breckenridge to check in at noon, and our closing was at 11. So there was no way I was getting there by noon. The night before, I just did not sleep. I was so exhausted, not feeling good at all. And my middle daughter swam her first IM, which is the medley stroke where they do all 4 strokes. It was a really big deal to her, and she started crying when she found out that I wasn't going to be here. My oldest is trying to make all-star times right now, and so luckily, not luckily, but she didn't make all-star times this last meet, but I didn't want to leave that, and we just have a bunch of stuff going on. My father-in-law was just recently diagnosed with cancer, and he was coming down for the first time since his diagnosis, and I really wanted to be here to see him, and I could sit here and literally tell you like 10 other things that were going on, and I am not going to lie. I said to my husband that morning, the last thing I want to do is go drive 2 hours up to Breckenridge. I was going up there to stay with Nyla Mason, whom I love, but I don't know her very well. My other 2 roommates, I don't know at all. I was going with nobody that is normally like my sidekicks. So I knew that I was going to have to go eat breakfast with people I didn't know, go eat lunch with people I didn't know. And I almost didn't go because of all those things, and because I was so scared to go outside my comfort zone and have to like just go make conversation with people outside of just our team. It was terrifying.
Hey, real quick, Tara, before you get started, when you say all that stuff, what is the reason why, what do you want this business, or I should say, what is this business going to do for your family and stuff when you're, what's the vision that you see for you and your family of why you make this sacrifice and these commitments?
Well, for one thing, I think you all know right now, a huge motivation for our family is getting to NMD for health insurance. That's just like number one, foremost. But also what I tell my kids is, when my daughter was crying and she's like, you're not going to be able to see my first IM. She was trying to lay the guilt trip on me. I said, Jalen, I cook you breakfast every morning. I drop you off at school. I volunteer in your classroom. I go on field trips with you. I pick you up from school. I'm there to help you with your homework every day. Many days I've been able to stay home and cook you some homemade healthy snack. I go to all of your other stuff, and every now and then I'm going to have to miss important events. I'm sure that a lot of these ladies can tell you for the past 3 conferences I've been to in a row, I have watched my daughter swim in a swim meet on FaceTime. And I just tell them that I'm going to miss some of those meets, but I'm there to take you to every practice for the most part. And it's because of this job that I'm able to do that. So as they continue to get more into horse riding and more into swimming, because of this job and the income that it provides, the passive income, I'm not going to have to go back to work if something happens. I have my paycheck no matter what, as long as I just, maintain good customer care. So in terms of what it's going to do for my family, it's going to do everything that allows me to be the mom that I want to be. And that's really important to me.
All right. Thank you so much, Tara. I'm going to let you go ahead and take this over. She has so much. I can't even tell you guys. I got a little bit of sneak peek this morning, and I'm like, with my notes. So get your notepad, because I'm like, oh my gosh, she's got so much good info. So get a pad of paper and a pen, and go ahead and take it away, Tara. Thank you so much for doing this for us.
Of course, I'm happy to share, but like I've said, there is no way that I can cram in a day and a half of boot camp into tonight. So I'm going to speed through a bunch of stuff, and there may be some things that we talk about tonight that you're like, what is that? I've never heard of that. How do I get access to that? get with your upline, or get with Stacy, or get with me, so that we can tell you where a lot of it is. But a lot of the stuff I'm going to talk about is just on the mission driven model. So just make sure you're familiar with that. So, why boot camp and how is it different than conference? I get this question a lot, and just a couple things. It's way more up close and personal because the numbers are smaller. So for example, I sat at dinner the other night with Dr. Du Bois and his amazingly sweet wife, and Chris Allen, who's a former Denver Broncos player. He's married to Heather Allen, who's an NMD up here. And, I just got to sit down and chit chat with them. When was the last time you did that at a conference? I see people stalk Mitra Ray into the bathroom at a conference, and you don't have to do that at boot camps. A lot of times the meals are included. So like our ticket was $140, but we got dinner, a breakfast, and a lunch included in that. Plus the hotels are usually a lot cheaper. So it's a great place to get questions answered directly. At one point we broke out into a breakout, and there was a girl there who I actually know who's an amazing softball player. And she is engaged to a guy that has really bad gastrointestinal issues, and he can't take Juice Plus yet. And she's like, I don't know how to get him started. Well, Dr. Du Bois was right over my shoulder, so I grabbed her and took her straight over to Dr. Du Bois. She walked right up to him and asked him her question. So how often do we get that? The team building opportunity, like I said, getting to know Nyla in the way that I did. She came out, she took my team to lunch. It was phenomenal. But think if we all go to the Rocky Mountain Boot Camp next year, and how much closer we're going to become because of stuff like that. And I'm going to talk more about the importance of our team, but it totally gets you out of your comfort zone. I think that was pretty clear for me. And one of the things that they've done at this boot camp, especially in the Vegas boot camp that we've gone to, is you do these breakouts where you do a text splits. They're over your shoulder looking at your text. They're checking them, which might sound terrifying, but it was so good for me at both of the camps that we did at the boot camps. And then they'll do something like break you out into different groups. And then this time they passed around questions that you had like a table of 10 people, and you each answered the question. Like one, for example, was, how do you invite to events? What verbiage do you use? How good is it to hear 10 other people that are not on our team and how they invite to events? So that's why boot camp is different than conference. It's just so much more compact and tight knit, pretty much. So key things that came up at the boot camp over and over. Number one and foremost, get customer qualified. It's column 6 in your PVC report. So make sure you know where that is. Get with Stacy. She can help coach you on that. The other big thing was stop thinking in terms of promotional levels, guilty as charged, and start thinking in terms of clubs. That is where the magic happens. We're going to talk more about this. Again, over and over, especially coming from Casey Schloss, was you get your people to HLP, you get them to VF, you get them to qualify, you repeat to the side and down. Big thing, be coachable. If you join this business and you are not coachable, you may as well have just thrown $50 out the window. Create a system and use it. Luckily, we have that. The question is, are you using it? We're going to talk so much about this system in a few minutes. Build a wide team. Building a wide team, not just a deep team, is so important. And what that means is, in order to get to NMD, you need 5 sales coordinators wide, right? So your 5 sales coordinators can't come from 3 different lines. You can't have a sales coordinator under them. So that's where the word wide comes from. There was a lot of talk about meeting people where they are. So in order to do that and meet people where they are without driving yourself crazy, you need to plant more than you intend to harvest. Teaching people how to respect your time. This was over and over. Reagan Dean, Casey Schloss, Bree Burkford, all of them. So they say, when your team takes a step, you take a step. When that team member takes another step, you take 2 steps. So you're never stepping unless they're stepping. And that teaches them to value your time. It shows them that if they show up, you're going to show up. Over and over, I heard from Jason LaChance and Sean about just how, and Jeff Wilson, how we are perfectly positioned product at the perfect time in a perfect market. Relationships aren't just something, they're everything. Be authentic, live the mission. This was especially talked about in terms of posting on Facebook. Focus on income producing activities, not just management / busy activities. So we just, for any of you that watched The Most Powerful Women in Network Marketing, that's what every one of them talked about as well. One thing I loved is that people kept saying our customer care should define us. So I just want you guys to ask yourself, does your customer care define the customer care that you want to give, that you're proud of? And would Juice Plus be proud of your customer care? If Jay Martin asked you what your customer care is like, would you be proud of it? You don't get what you want, you get what you schedule. We've heard that 1,000 times. Does your schedule look like your goals? And if you're not having fun in this business, you need to change your strategy. So for me, when I didn't want to go the other day, that was me not having fun in this business. I've got to change my strategy, is that when I know I get there, when I'm there, I'm going to be so thankful I went. So change your way of thinking. And if you want options in life, this business creates them. And then Chris Slosh said, and I love this, if you have financial, family, marriage, or personal goals, this business makes sense. And then this was one of those like, bam, wow moments for me when this came up, and it was Reagan Dean. And she said, staying in your comfort zone will rob you of your greatest moments and memories. So Jason LaChance, who is our regional director up here in Colorado, so he came out and spoke. He said, 2015 was the best year in Juice Plus history, and every month so far in 2016 is beating that same month in 2015. So we are positioned to have our best year again. And he talked about what is our $50 pay for. And I know that we all know this for the most part. And those of us that have been fortunate enough to tour the corporate office, we're very familiar with things like the gym that's there, the security that monitors our credit card system. It is an entire room in itself full of, I forget the number. It's well over $1 million that they spent on that so that our customers have security on their credit cards. But something that I thought was really cool is the 2 gals at the front desk of Juice Plus that greet everybody who walks in there and takes any call that comes through, like the Juice Plus front office, obviously not the call center. Those 2 ladies have been there for over 20 years. And something that just was so indicative of what this company is about is that I didn't realize that our bonus program occurred and happened during the recession. So in 2008, when everybody was losing their jobs and taking pay cuts and losing health insurance, Juice Plus said, you know, Jay Martin and all of our regional people said, we need to do something to take care of our people. So they rolled out the bonus program, and that bonus program has paid out $18 million and is averaging $380,000 per month in just bonuses alone. And then, you know, they really take care of their people that are taking care of us. In the call center, there's 75 employees that are now cross-trained. They're saying that our hold times should be way less. And I don't know about if you guys have called in recently, but when I call in now, very rarely am I on hold for more than just a couple minutes. And those call center employees are taking over 2,500 calls per day. Their busiest day was 6,000 calls. Can you imagine? I mean, what they're doing for us for $50 a year is amazing. So Jeff Olson, who I love to listen to, he's so business-minded and just always so amazing in terms of the way that we should be thinking about our business. He said, we are innovative versus being in distribution. And that is so true. He said, we are disruptive to the market. We change the game. How true and amazing is that? We are so unique in that 80% of the people that buy Juice Plus have nothing to do with the business. This is not the norm in network marketing, you guys. We raise the bar. He said, we are technology for food concentrates. I thought that was a great way to look at it. I had no idea that gardening is the #1 hobby in the country. And he said, Tower Garden is an artistic approach to growing. So think about that. How many people do you know that are artists that you could be talking to about Tower Garden? You can now fast track on Tower Garden sales alone. So I don't know if you guys know that, but that's recently changed. And one thing that he said that was just so powerful is, he's like, Jay Martin is a smart guy, and we all know that he's incredibly down to earth and fantastic. And I did not know that when they started smoke detectors in the 80s, that was $1 billion product. Water filters in the 90s, $1 billion product. Juice Plus, $1 billion product. So when Jay Martin looks at something like the Tower Garden, that is going to be another $1 billion product, but currently it only accounts for 5% of our sales. So that lies on us to change that. And he said, and this actually comes from Lawrence Slocum, is so often people are like, well, I need to understand our business better before I can start talking to people. No, you don't. Say yes, tell the world, figure it out. It's that simple. We get to learn as we earn. You don't need to know more. You just have to care more. And in our business, that's so true. So Dr. Du Bois did a really awesome question and answer session. And these were some of them that I wrote down that I thought were very common questions I know my team asked. So I figure you all can benefit. Do you recommend Juice Plus before taking surgery? He said a resounding yes. In his hospital that he used to work at, the doctors could actually prescribe Juice Plus and put it into people's feeding tubes. It was like in the pharmacy cabinet in the hospital, and that all the doctors noticed a difference in their patients. Does it matter when you take Juice Plus? He said, in a perfect world, the only thing that would slightly aid in the absorption of Juice Plus is eating it with food. But what matters most is taking 2 capsules from every bottle every day. Don't put parameters around it for your customers. Just tell them two capsules every bottle every day. What do you say to the people that claim they're already eating healthy? He said, first of all, they're full of it. And in all honesty, if that's the case, they're ingesting loads of chemicals and insecticides, which I thought this was interesting. He said he believes that insecticides are the cause of ADHD and autism. So coming from him, I feel like that's pretty amazing. And when I sat with him at dinner, this is a side note, I said, what do you think about the Zika virus? And he said, it's a big deal. It's going to be a big deal. And Juice Plus is going to be so important in people building their immune systems. And it's only a matter of time before it comes to the US. And he looked at me and was like, took on a whole new face with it. And he was like, it's a big deal, Tara. It's serious. People need to start taking it serious. What do you recommend to the people that have severe stomach discomfort, IBS? How I get this all the time. So I thought this was really interesting. He said, always start with Vineyard first and start with half a capsule, put in applesauce, yogurt, smoothie, whatever, for a few days. Then move up to a full capsule of Vineyard, and then 1.5, and then 2, and then you do the same thing with Orchard, and then Garden last because it contains all the cruciferous veggies. So that I think is huge. I would have never known to start with Vineyard. I've always told people to start with Orchard, so start with Vineyard. This is big, you guys, that are so many of us that want to talk to doctors. So how do I talk to healthcare professionals about Juice Plus? Obviously, research is going to be our key word. And I hope you're all familiar with the personalized research summary on your virtual office and how to print that out. If you're not, again, get with your sponsor. But he said the biggest thing that we need to be saying when we're talking to doctors is alternative revenue stream. With the way that our healthcare system is going and the restrictions that doctors are now under, having an alternative revenue stream is huge for them. So if they sign up and all they do is they don't really work the business, they just add customers. He said 2 customers per week is $1,000 per month after a year. And he gave another figure. I don't remember exactly what the years were, but it was not that long. I want to say it was like 10 years of doing this, and they would be making, it was 10 years, that they would be making $11,000 a month. So that's huge when talking to them. Jessica Donatone, she was really good. She's a personal trainer. She talked a lot about texting. When you're texting people, make it light and personal, use their name, refer to past experiences or conversations. She said use emojis, which I would have said not to, but she said use them. And I had to say I agree, because text can be taken out of context. And at least when you throw emojis in there, it gives people an idea of how you feel. I know Stacy's a big emoji fan. Compliment them. We know that from GoPro. Ask questions. I'd love to work with you because I thought of you because, again, GoPro. Kiss of death, and I completely agree. Let me know if you're interested. No, hurts my eyes. So end with a powerful question. And when we did the texting blitz, this was an example. So I text a good friend of mine that lives down in Phoenix. He's actually getting ready to open a gourmet taco restaurant. I know that Stacy will be there often. And so I texted him and I said, hey, Rich, I thought of you because I know you're opening the restaurant. I'm so excited for you. We just would love to support you. Have you thought about putting a tower garden in your restaurant? How cool would it be to have an edge in the market by a grand opening with setting yourself aside with having fresh food? You could have a salsa tower and a lettuce tower. It was something like that. But I said, how amazing would it be if you had that tower in there? So something like that. And then she said, if you have fear, you're not serving anyone because fear is about you. So, so true. Tamara Burgess Hill, she really reinforced the importance of third-party validation. And she said, we all have Dr. Du Bois in our pocket. And I recently have partnered with a gal here that one day she said, I called a doctor, I can't remember his name at the corporate office, the corporate doctor. And she goes, I was talking to him when my father-in-law was in the hospital having a heart attack. And I was like, you were? She's like, yeah, you can call him and talk to him anytime, and he'll talk to your family members or your friends. So if we have people like that in our back pocket and we're not using them, that's just crazy. Relationships aren't just something, they're everything. Absolutely. 90% of the world doesn't know about Juice Plus. Celebrate growing a customer base. So we talked about this today on our leadership call, and I'm really excited to get this started for us. So if you've toured the corporate office, you know that there is a plaque for 24 Club, 39 Club, 50 Club, 75, and 100. And we're going to do this with our customers now. So we have to decide on the numbers, but it might be something like when you have 10 customers, you get on the 10 customer board, 20, 30, 40, etc. And this is all part of the summer search, going back to customer qualified. And I know that a lot of you are like me, where you like a little competition. So I would love to kind of see where everybody is at. And I just know some of you that are just so heartfelt in the way that you talk to people. And I would be so curious to see some of those people and where they're at with their customer base. And I think that's really motivating too. So watch for that to come. Share your journey by offering hope. That's what we do. We offer hope. Before and after pics. I know we often see this in the Transform 30, but I think that this could be done with anything. And Tamara gave the example of, what was your life like before Juice Plus, before your business, before the product? So you could do a picture of yourself, whatever that symbolized to you before Juice Plus and then after, and then ask people, what will your story be? Here's mine. Be a great listener and ask questions. She says you should ask 7 questions to every 1 comment, whether it's on Facebook or in person. We've heard this over and over, but again, just reiterates, take your conversation offline. Do not post in the comments on Facebook, and then schedule your follow-up, even if it's on text or Facebook. She said, message the people that like your post. I've never done this, but so true. Message them and say, I noticed you liked my post. Thanks so much for the support. What did you like about it? Get the conversation going. Having troubles getting new customers or team members, have you asked anybody lately? Again, so guilty. Truly, have you asked somebody to be your customer lately? Have you asked someone if they want to be on your team? I just did this today and have a new gal signing up tomorrow to be on our team. So this is homework that we're all going to do, from Stacy, Terry, everybody down. So homework before next Tuesday is for you to write down at least 30 reasons that you are proud and love your Juice Plus business. This is going to be different for everybody. And we will start a thread on Facebook, and then everybody can post their 30 comments in the thread. So do that as soon as you're ready. I know I posted this on One Team Strong the other day, but again, another one of those bam moments for me. People don't buy what you do. They buy why you do it. And what you do simply proves what you believe. I am all about being authentic and true to yourself. And for me, that so hit home because this is why I do Juice Plus, because it proves what I believe. So customer care, you guys are going to laugh, be like, what's the poop challenge? I had a fellow NMD that I was walking next to on the way. Again, just the tightness of boot camp. She does the poop challenge where she asks people, mothers especially, give me 5 days with your constipated kids and I will cure them, is what she says. I don't know that I will go that far. But she brings them 5 days worth of gummies. And she says every time she's done that, she's never not gotten an order, because for those of you that know what it's like to have a constipated child, it is awful. And so if you can give them hope, again, that's huge. So that's a great customer care thing to do, great thing to post on Facebook. And how much attention is that going to get when you say poop challenge? And then referral money. So I know I give $25, my retail sales profit, for every Tower Garden order I get. If somebody refers a trio to me, I give them a $10 gift card to wherever, a duo $5 gift card. So they talked about that. Again, our customer care should define us. Customer care is an income producing activity. So again, stick to those income producing activities, not management busy activities. Know your customers' expectations. This is so important. Before they get started on Juice Plus, you should know what their expectations are. If their expectations are to lose weight and all they're doing is ordering a duo, you need to talk to them about Transform 30, right? Use the Juice Plus customer questionnaire that's on Mission Driven System. There's a typo there. Do not let your customers not answering your call be your excuse. It is your job to let them know that they are valued and connect with them. Send them a postcard, a text, put a note on their front door, connect with them on Voxer, but do not let leaving them a voicemail be your only point of contact with them when their order needs to go out, or if you want to let them know that they are valued. Make sure to do the customer experience survey with them before their second shipment. So Bree and Peggy, I'm sorry that I'm flying through this, you guys, but I want to make sure we get through it fast. She said, it is your job to get to NMD. Your job is to show your team that they can do it. Thank you, Stacy, for doing that, because how true is it that when Stacy got made National Marketing Director, that it became a reality for so many of us, that it just, prior to that, seemed like something that only other teams did. And Stacy did it with 4 kids at home, a nursing career, being just as busy as every single one of us, and she did it. She said, stay the course, stay focused. Don't focus on what you don't have. Focus on what you do have. Even if you have 5 customers, you give those 5 customers the best possible customer service and they will duplicate. Even if you only have 2 team members, you take the best possible care of them and they will duplicate. You don't get what you want, you get what you schedule. What does your planner look like? Family time should be first. You guys, we all do this business for that reason, right? Whether we're single or have 4 or 5 kids at home. We want to do this business to take care of ourselves and our family and to live the life we want. So your family should go on your calendar first. When you plan that out on Sunday night, and you should only plan it out 1 day a week, Peggy even told us that last Sunday, put your family time first, then put your business in there, and then put a fence around your business time. That should be like, do not disturb around every aspect of it during that time. So stay focused on it. Team chemistry, so important. And boy, am I proud to be a part of this team. I just texted Stacy the other day with something else that happened. And I said, I have never been more proud to be on this team and to know that we all have each other's backs. And we are so blessed to have that. They said individuals play the game, but teams win the championship. So we have such a gift with our team, and we need to make sure that we're utilizing every aspect of it. So they do a prayer chain each week on Monday at 3 p.m. Now, you guys, prayer is going to look different to everybody, and that's okay. Honor where you're at with that and what that means to you. But I know that a lot of us on here are setting an alarm on our phone, and Monday at 3 p.m., along with Bree's whole team, Peggy's whole team, the Beavers, the Burdicks, they all turn on their prayer at that time. And they pray for the farmers of Juice Plus, for the leaders in our company, for our whole corporate office, and they all know each other's goals and they pray for each other's goals. And now that I know that Dr. Terry wants to be Q by September 30th and be 12 Club, and Mama Terry wants to be Q, and Stacy wants to be 39 Club, those are things that I'm going to pray about. And how powerful is it when we are putting off that vibration? That's super powerful. So I think that's something that we can take from them. Our job is to show team members the system, and that system was created by Stacy, Dr. Terry, all of them. They did such an amazing job on our website, and we really need to be using it. That system is in place for a reason, and that's where success happens. Every one of those NMDs on stage this weekend said they use a system. Another important job that we have is to get people to conference. What they do with the information and the energy that they get at conference is up to them, but we owe them the opportunity to know what they're saying no to if they so choose. How many of you can say that if you had never gone to your first conference, you would still be doing this business or have the paycheck you have now? I wouldn't. They recommended watching the movie Field of Dreams, and they showed a clip from it, and it's on my list to do right now. So if you get time, I think it's on Netflix, watch that movie. It really does apply to our business. So Casey Schloss, oh my gosh, to have that girl right there was amazing. And she is just the nicest, most loving person. I went up to her several times, but after her talk, and I just said, that was like you were talking to me. And she goes, oh, come here, let me give you a hug with her baby bump. And she's just the cutest, sweetest thing. I love her. And so she said, one thing we need to be asking ourselves is, does this business feel right to you? And I think the majority of us, that would be a big fat yes. And when we're doing a business that feels right to us in a world today that has a lot of wrongs, this is pretty amazing that we are doing a business that feels right. It may not always be easy, but it has always felt right to her, and I know it has to me. So these are some keys to her success. Launch parties. So she tells her new reps, you bring the people, I'll bring the presentation. She tries to help her new reps get their HLP before the party, and then they finalize their VF at the party. Easy peasy, get it done. Conferences and boot camps are non-negotiable on her team. Revitalization is so important every 90 days to keep you on track. It's part of staying the course, and having just done it, I could not agree more. The simpler you keep things, the more effective they become. Weekly activities are posted on her team page, and guess what? They're on ours now too. Woo woo, go Stacy. HLP, VF, qualify, repeat, down to the side. We already talked about that. She said your best team members come from your customer base. And if you have ever listened to the John Halawadi call, he talks about how he had 3 customers, and he called every one of them and said, who else do you know that would benefit from using Juice Plus? And we all know the success that John Halawadi has had. Recognition of team members. So you don't have to have a lot of money to recognize team members. Every time your team members do something, from taking time to get on a call like this, to getting a couple new customers, to promoting, there are so many things that we should be doing to let them know how proud we are of them and how proud they should be of themselves. Again, be coachable. If you come into this business and you insist on doing things your own way and not on the system, you're not using your $50 very wisely. Don't dictate another person's happiness. Let them be in their happy place. So I'm going to skip down where she said that there are going to be people that are going to give you 30%, and that's all they can give, and that's okay. There's going to be people that are going to give you 60, 90, 100. Let the 30%ers be the 30%ers. Let the 60s be the 60s. Let the hundreds be the hundreds. And if we do that, we don't go insane trying to pull our teams when they don't want to be there. So you've got to meet people where they are. And in the meantime, you teach people how to deserve your time and attention. You cannot want this for your team member more than they want it for themselves. That's a waste of your time and energy, and that's why we build wide. This was really big. I know I am guilty of comparing myself to other people. And another bam moment, she said, when you compare yourself, so if you say something like, well, Casey made NMD in a year, because she's a pharmacist and people respect a pharmacist opinion more than they're going to respect mine. Well, not only is that giving you an excuse for not achieving your goals, but what really hit me was that's minimizing their accomplishments. I don't think that's fair to do. Chris Slash, this is one of those ones I listened to, and these are all the notes I came up with because I was so enthralled in what he was saying. Having a husband of a national marketing director up there that is now working his business because of what she did, like all of our husbands need to see what he said. But from a pharmacist perspective, he said he went to his first boot camp and he was like, this stuff is so, whatever. And I'm going to go in there and ask them, show me the research in the human body, not on rats. And he said he was quickly shut down. So I think that's a big verbiage that we can be using with people is should we show you the research in the human body? He said the Beavers Gen Y boot camp that Alex went to changed everything for him. That's when he realized that what they were planning to do over the next 20 years, they could do in 5 because of this business. There was a lot of talk at this boot camp about why our $50 is the smartest investment you will ever put your time in. So ask yourself right now, and I'm going to pause for just a second, what are your goals 5 years from now? Have you thought about where you're going to be 5 years from now? Do you have it written down somewhere? And if you don't know what your goals are 5 years from now, you're looking at what your life will look like. So true. Financial stability, passive income, retirement. Those things were talked about over and over. Can you save $2 million a year? I don't think any of us can. Can you build an NMD business in a year? Yes. He said, go to Edward Jones and give them $50 and ask them to make you $2 million in 10 years. It's not going to happen, but you could do that as an NMD in this business. He did an amazing visual that was just so good. He put 8 people up on stage and they each opened a random paycheck. And the first person qualified their business. Second person qualified. Third person not. Fourth person qualified. Went all the way down. And the very first person made $850 because their business was qualified on that whole downline down. Second person made like $650. Third person made nothing because their business isn't qualified. Fourth person made like $300. Goes all the way down with these people. He said, if you are looking for that rock star team member, like we all are, we are all thinking if we could just find that one person that would fly to NMD, our business and our paychecks would be changed forever. But the truth of the matter is that if you're not qualifying your business, that rock star person is going to do you no good because you're not going to make that 5% off of them. Oh goodness, sorry. So Reagan and Richard Dean, I'm just going to leave it like this for now, if that's okay. Saving for retirement without passive income is near impossible. With the rate of inflation and wages staying the same, it's just not going to happen. The only way to make money is to risk it. If you put $120,000 in 2% interest savings account, you'd be making $200 a month. How many of us are easily putting $200 a month into our bank account, but look how much money you have to have in the bank to get that in interest alone? So they talked about what is wealth. It's not money. All wealth begins and ends in the mind. Progress is what makes you wealthy. They talked about the pyramid of mastery, and I know many of us have seen this. They went through the Tony Robbins Financial Mastery course, which I'm now looking into, especially because they got to go to Fiji or Bali. And so I will give this to you guys, but I would tell you, rate these from 1 to 10 and really look at your life and where you want to improve, and that will in turn improve your business. So your physical health, your emotional health, your relationships, your time, which is your most valuable resource because once you spend it, you can never get it back. Your work, career, mission, what you call it will tell you exactly where you're at with that. So if you call it work, you're probably going to be lower on the 1 to 10. Your finances and your spiritual sense. And then again, they said, stop looking at promotional levels and start thinking in terms of clubs. So I posted this on Facebook the other day, but look at this, you guys. 3 Club, you're making $1,250 a month. How many stay-at-home moms do you know that $1,250 a month, what that would do for their income? And that's 3 qualifiers under you. That's totally doable. I get asked all the time, how much do national marketing directors make? So in writing from people at corporate, this is what they said. The average national marketing director is making $100,000 a year. So Stacy is buying lunch next time we're around. Run your business by appointment. They suggested color coding it. And then they really just kind of called people out and said, decision is hard until you decide. And if you're saying things like, I'm going to try to get to Q, I'm going to try and qualify my business, that to try is a lie. You either do or you don't. They said, find a team that makes you grow. So, so true. Change your mindset. If what they say, or, you know, so many of us think, what if I call them and they say no? Well, what if they say yes? Put that on your computer or your phone. And then they talked about that they walked through Kohl's at this mastery training that they did. And I just want you guys to take a couple minutes here. We're almost done. We're going to wrap up. And I want you guys to watch this with me. And I want you to do a couple things. As you watch this, I want you to look at the people that are going over these Kohl's and what they do. And if you run across hot coals, then you're going to burn your feet. But if you walk across them, it's a little bit different. So really pay attention to what the people do in this video.
Drums off. Let's have a hand for our drummers, ladies and gentlemen. Make the move. Make the move. Make the move. Make the move. On count of 3, all your intensity. Make the sound of unstoppable intensity. 1, 2, 3, go. Drummers on. Drummers on. Here we go. Yes. 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 All right, brother. Make your little strong as you run down the line. Squeeze it up. Squeeze it up. Let's go. Come on. Yes. 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 Yes! 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 We'll get you some fresh eggs. Oh no! Oh no! That's enough. Just that's enough right there. I want you to know there's nothing here. You're going to storm through this. I will not let you get hurt. What's the worst going to happen? Turn your feet off and die. Come on. Step up on the grass first. Okay. I want you to make your move as strong as you've ever been in your life. Just scream yes. I want you to do it 3 times. Your eyes stay up and you storm the grass. Yes. Yes. Make the move, scream yes. As hard and strong as you can. That's it. That's it. You got it.
So I would ask you tonight, what are you saying yes to? Is now your time? All it takes is being decisive, making a decision, staying the course. Are you ready? What will you do with the next 98 days? So many amazingly successful people in our business have said that they did it on a 90-day surge. So starting July 1st, we have 90 days to make promotions, to hit those clubs. Who's going to the Eltons with Stacy and Terry? You need 12 clubs to get there. Are you going to do it? Who will you become? What legacy are you leaving? What is your story going to be? We begin our climb towards our full potential as human beings the moment we accept and absorb the truth that cause and consequence are inseparable. Will your actions be your cause or your consequence? You guys are totally responsible for your own destiny. And I would just tell you, own it, step in your power, be who you want to be, and become who you are meant to be. And at conference, I can't wait to be the person celebrating with you at the end of those calls, because this business is so much like what those people just went through when Tony said, I'm going to put new coals on the fire, and Oprah was like, oh, never mind. How often does that happen where we're like, oh, I can't do this. This freaks me out. And something that I learned at boot camp that really struck me is, if you just continue to stay the course and you work your business and you touch lives, guess what? Whether you like it or not, you're going to be an NMD one day, because that's what this company does for you. It might take you 20 years, but if you stay the course, you're going to be there one day.
Are you kidding me? That was freaking awesome. Woo! Come on, guys. Bring it up. Oh, yeah. Seriously, first of all, I'm getting my plane ticket right now to Colorado. But no, that was absolutely amazing. Raise your hand if you wish you were there, because you're like, are you freaking kidding me? All that information? You guys, I can't tell you enough about events and boot camps and conference. You guys, you can't bring it back. Terry, you actually did a really good job bringing it back, honestly. I don't think I would have had half the notes, because I'd be like this. I mean, no, because that's my thing, is I just take it in and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so great. But that's where the energy comes from, you guys. What we're doing here is so amazing and changing lives. Every single one of you on here, you know, the best part of where I am here is watching each person grow. And every single person here could pick the next person and help them up. You guys don't even need me, but the cool part is we're one team, okay? So Mom's gonna help Terry, Terry's gonna help Jamie, you know, Mary's gonna help Debbie, you know, it's we all just come together and we rock it together, you know? So I'm almost in tears. It was so awesome. So you're awesome, Tara. So thank you so much. Does anybody have anything to say to Tara real quick before I tell you the last couple things? And
great job.
That was amazing.
Amazing. You are awesome.
yes.
Like, if I had tissues in here, I'd be crying like a baby. Tara. Terry would be crying too.
Well,
Yeah, I'm already
That's
crying.
What we do.
Put your head up and walk through the next 90 days. I mean, they all did. They were like, put their head up, just got focused and got through it. What will your life look like if you do that in 90 days?
Yeah.
That's a part of it, is those speakers that are there, they're there because they get to those events and they're being filled up. You have to be filled up, okay? Because that's the energy that goes out, and that's where you have to share with everybody, you know? Okay, so the next event, Thursday night, inspiringhealthyliving.tv. Hold on. Yes, so inspiringhealthyliving.tv, and you go to, sorry, I don't know where the note comes from. That you got to register, but what I'm doing, Casey and Chris Slosh are actually talking that night, okay? They're talking on the business. You want to get people on there, okay? It's up to you. It's your business, your goals. You know, really, what if you could get 5 people on that call? What a difference would that make? Now, and I'm not saying that they're going to join your team right now. What I am saying is you're filling them up. Okay, you're giving them that one chance to check it out. That down the road, anything that you put on Facebook or anything you say, all of a sudden they're like, oh, okay, watch that. It makes sense to me. Okay, I'm going to do a contest for y'all. That whoever gets the most people on that Thursday night, inspirehealthyliving.tv, okay, you have to register and you have to get your people to register, okay? Whoever gets the most, I will send them a prize, okay? And I want you to send it to me, okay? Text me. I want to hold you accountable. Text me or Tara or Terry or Terry. Text us. How many people do you want to push for to have on that call? Okay, you guys, this business, all of us, every single one of us can tell you 30 things, which we're going to, that this business has done for us, okay? When you hear that, how do you not share that with the next person? You have to. You can't keep it to yourself. That doesn't mean everybody's going to get it, you know? But I can tell you, nursing never filled me up as much as this kind of stuff did, you know? And I was taking care of patients every single day. But yes, if you want, text me, how many people do you want to get on that call on Thursday? Okay, remember it's at 6 p.m. Arizona time, 9 p.m. or Eastern time. Okay, so jump on there. I will put the link. Well, you all know, inspirehealthyliving.tv. Okay, register it, and then to get people on there, you guys, you're gonna have to be on them because it's not just like pick up the phone and jump on. Okay, they have to register beforehand. Okay? And even I am not afraid because I know those two people and the information that they have to share with us. Where's that? You all are muted and there's a ton of background. I have no idea where that's coming from. Oh my golly, geez. What was I saying? What was I just saying? I totally spaced it. Okay, jump on there, but you will have to send it to them. They have to register beforehand, and it's going to be an amazing call. I'm also going to post some Facebook parties from now until the end of the month. We're going to do 90 days, but what can you do by the end of this month? Can you get your business qualified? If you only need, I mean, honestly, from now until the end of the month, if you have 300 points, you can get qualified at the end of this month if you want, okay? Who can you help to get qualified? There's so much that can happen in 2 weeks, you guys. So get excited. I would love, if you need my help, I'm more than happy to help Tara, Terry, the other Terry, my mom, anybody who needs help. We're here to help you guys. And if I'm missing anybody, but let's rock into, let's start July off with a bang. I have a super on the next call. I will tell you about the sizzling summer July that is going to happen. I can't even wait, hold your pants. I will tell you about it if you all push to the end of July or to the end of this month. But there were some exciting, stinking exciting things happening in July. So some speakers that are coming on here that I'm like, yay, that's so cool. So yeah, so I will see you guys all then.